popsicles, Oreos, gummies. These are all super yummy, but also very small. Boo! Wait, how about we make them big, giant, the biggest in the world? Sounds fun! Let's go! Oreos are one of my favorite cookies. This is what dreams are made of. The only downside, they're so tiny. One bite and gone. I need a giant Oreo in my life. Let's go. I am ready to bake my giant Oreo. I have my bowl here, which is probably too small, and all the ingredients. Let's start with the flour. Then we have powdered sugar. Then we have a cloud of dust. Okay, I just coughed in the cookie. I'm gonna eat it myself, I promise. Cacao powder. Let's add a little bit of baking powder. I'm gonna go for 1 teaspoon, or maybe a bit more, 1.5. A big block of butter. We're making a giant cookie after all. Oh no! I made such a mess already! Okay, half a cookie is outside now. Not half, but 10%. Maybe I'm gonna scoop it back in. You know what, forget it. An egg. There we go, it's time to take our hands in here. Oh no, I knew that this bowl is way too small. I knew it from the beginning. Why did I continue with this? Half of the cookie is going out.
We need ingredients. How are we gonna make a giant cookie otherwise?
If I get a cookie out of this mess, I'm gonna be impressed. And mind you, we have to get an Oreo, so the cookie of all the cookies. You know what? I'm gonna abandon this miniature bowl. What was I thinking? Making a giant cookie in a mini bowl.
Wasn't my smartest moment, I'm gonna admit.
So basically we have to knead all of these ingredients and get a cookie dough. Mine looks very dry, so we're gonna see how this goes. Guys, this is my workout for the day, but I am very happy because I have the dough starting to form. Maybe we're getting a cookie after all. It was a bad start, but right now it looks promising. There's still some butter left on this wrapping, so I'm just gonna use this and grease up these 2 molds. That's enough. Time to split the dough into 2 parts and place each into their mold. Press down and distribute the dough evenly throughout the mold. The dough is pressed in both of the molds, so it's time for the oven. The cookies are in the oven. Fingers crossed they turn out okay. And now it's time to do the filling. I have the white chocolate here, which I'm gonna melt in a double boiler. For years, white chocolate was my favorite type of chocolate. And I still love it, but today I much prefer darker chocolate just because it's a bit more healthy. Our chocolate is completely melted and it looks divine. We're gonna leave it aside to cool down for a bit, and in the meantime, we're gonna take some powdered sugar into the bowl and some softened butter. In it goes. Grab a hand mixer and mix it up. Maybe you should cut the butter a little bit first. I'm dangerous today, guys. But I'm doing it. I want to have the cookie. I want to have my giant Oreo. Oh no! Why is my butter jumping like 1 meter away from the bowl? What is happening today? I'm not such a bad cook.
I think I should have waited a little bit longer so it softens a bit more.
I don't care. The frosting looks super nice and fluffy, so it's time to pour in our chocolate. Oh my gosh, I bet this thing will taste delicious. Butter, sugar, and white chocolate. Sounds like heaven. Let's whiz it up. It's time to take the cookies out of the oven and assemble our giant Oreo. Guys, both of my cookie layers have baked nicely. I'm just so scared now to take them out. I don't want to break them. How do I do this? One at a time. Set this one aside and let's try with this one. Lift it up as gently as I can. You know what? I think I'm just gonna flip it on my hand. I'm gonna flip it here and then it will fall out. Please, you have to. Otherwise, I'm gonna be upset. 3, 2, 1. Why can't I lift you? Come on. Why aren't you falling out? That was the plan. What's happening here? Come on. Why? He doesn't want to come out. Come on, Cookie. There's a whole world waiting for you outside.
Everyone's waiting. Everyone's getting tired of you being stuck in here.
Mainly me. Oh my god, I'm sweating so much. Please, just don't break. Just come out. What's happening? I think I did it. He's coming out. It looks good, you guys! Thank you, thank you, thank you! You are adorable! How cute is it? Onto a cake stand. Cookie numero 2, there we go. I'm gonna do the same thing. There we have it! We succeeded, guys. This was stressful. I'm sweating. I need to go shower. But none of that matters because this thing turned out perfect. The bottom layer of my cookie is on the cake plate and it's time to spread over a lot of Oreo frosting. Which part of Oreo is the best one for you? Is it the cookie or is it the cream?
Maybe unpopular opinion, but mine is actually the cookie. I love the crackers, the breads, and all this kind of stuff.
We're gonna put all of our frosting onto the cookie and then spread it out evenly. My gosh, you guys, we're almost there! All we have to do is put the top part of the cookie on, and we have to do it nicely and centrally. Please, please, please. We did it! Look at it, guys! We made a giant Oreo. Looks delicious. I don't know how it tastes, but we're gonna find out soon. Mini Oreo versus giant Oreo. Which one is better? First, I'm gonna take a bite of an original Oreo just to kind of freshen up my memory of how it tastes.
Let's pretend I haven't eaten hundreds of these in my life.
Let's pretend I've totally forgotten how they taste like. Yes. They still taste like Oreos. Delicious. Now we have a benchmark. Can we beat it? That's the question. I'm gonna take a bite here so I get a bit of everything, cookie and frosting. Let's see. Okay, that is pretty good, guys. Especially the frosting is amazing. I think I actually prefer the frosting of this one to the actual Oreo.
And we know they put some kind of magic ingredients into Oreos because they taste awesome.
But this one is not far behind. Actually, it's kind of on the same level. Now the cookie part, I'm gonna be honest, I prefer the Oreo. It's a bit more crunchy, but at the same time, it melts in your mouth. Whereas this one is a bit hard, but I guess it has to be so it holds together such a big cookie. Otherwise, I think it would just crumble apart. This cookie definitely tastes delicious and it's like 100 times bigger than this one. So which one would you take? I think my giant cookie is a winner. I would trade this tiny guy for a giant Oreo any day. This was a success. My giant Oreo deserves a 10. The good old popsicles, so simple yet so delicious. There is no summer without this yummy treat. If only they would last longer. I eat one and I want 100 more. Wait, how about we make a giant popsicle that would last us hours and hours? Yay! In order to make our giant popsicle, we first need to work on the mold. I'm gonna use this loaf silicone mold and wooden kitchen utensil. You gotta be creative. The plan is to make a cut here and then slide the utensil in so we have, can you see it? Can you see where I'm going with this? If not, I'm gonna show you right now. Take an X-Acto knife and make a little cut in the mold here. Yes, we have to sacrifice this mold for our giant popsicle, but we're gonna be able to do many popsicles in the future, so we are not wasting anything actually. Take your wooden spatula. Mine still has some parsley in here. We can have some greens in our popsicle, it won't kill us. Just gonna place it inside and slide through that opening out. Here's our popsicle mold and popsicle stick ready, so we can do the mixture. We're gonna combine in a bowl some cream, full fat milk, a little bit of sugar. I'm not sure how much.
Of course, I throw it out of the bowl. What is wrong with me? Everything goes out instead of in the bowl. Sugar never made desserts worse.
Right, so that's probably enough. Maybe too much already. Okay, and now we're gonna take this whisk and whisk it up. This looks fine to me, so get your popsicle mold ready and let's pour it in. Next we have to put it in the freezer and I'm gonna leave it there overnight so it really sets well. Ta-da! The popsicle has set overnight completely and it looks like we're on the right path. I mean, can you see this? This looks perfect to me. Let's try to take it out of the mold. I'm gonna try and just carefully lift it out like this. We did it! A giant popsicle! But it's not over yet, we have to dip it in chocolate. The plan is to melt as much chocolate as we need to fill up this glass. Then we can dip the popsicle in and get a very nice, even chocolate layer. But to fill up this glass, we need a lot of chocolate. A lot, and maybe more. Let's get to work. Open it up, break it into pieces, and in it goes into a double boiler. Now that is one big pile of chocolate, but better too much than too little. Am I right? I think this is gonna take a while to melt, but we have all the time in the world. Everything for a giant popsicle. The chocolate is melted, it is looking yummy, and there is so much of it. It's crazy. Alright guys, my popsicle is ready. Let's dip it in. Down to the bottom and pull up. What? What is this fail now? Why is chocolate not sticking to my popsicle? I'm gonna try again. What is happening, guys? I'm so confused. So much chocolate, and what is this nothingness? It has stuck a little bit in here, but nothing in here. What? Okay, we wanted to do it in a sleek way, but it was a fail. Here's a plan B. I'm gonna lay my popsicle down, and then I'm just gonna smear it with chocolate. Just like that. I am not ready to give up on this popsicle. We worked so hard on it. So I think, you guys, this is as good as it's gonna get. Let's test it out. A giant popsicle and a baby popsicle. I can't believe we actually made this. I was planning to get a nice smooth popsicle, but ended up with a more rustic one. Still, it's amazing. This is definitely the biggest popsicle I will ever hold in my hand. It's a special moment. Let's soak it in. I've already tried this little one. It's delish, but we need to double check. Yes, it's good. How about my giant version? 3, 2, 1, first bite. I've only got the chocolate. Wait a minute. Okay, now this is gonna be a great bite. It is not bad. It's not as creamy as this one, but it's definitely still super yummy. So the taste is yum, and if we compare the looks, well, mine really looks like it had a pretty rough day.
But it somehow still manages to look super cute.
You have to admit, the hack where I was using a bread mold was pretty creative. I had to melt a ton of chocolate so we could satisfyingly dip this baby in, and well, that flopped.
Uh-oh.
But we didn't give up, and we managed to produce this giant wonky popsicle. There was way too much stress and struggling here, so the winner is my giant rustic popsicle. Our giant popsicle gets a 9. Have you ever tried this eucalyptus gummy? I loved them when I was little. But when I was little, this tiny candy was good enough. I'm a big girl now, so I need a giant version. To make my giant eucalyptus candy, I'm first gonna use these 2 green jellies. There's 2 packets in here and 2 packets in here, so we have 4 packets of green jelly. I hope we make a big enough candy. I'm also gonna add a few things to this along the way to make it exactly the same as my beloved eucalyptus treats. The instructions say that we need 250 milliliters of water per packet. We have 4 packets here, so we need 1 liter of water, and we need to bring it to a boil. While waiting for my water to start boiling, I'm gonna open up these packages. Do you guys often make these jellos for dessert? Because I almost never do.
I only made these a couple of times for my video, but I never ever have them for a dessert otherwise.
And I guess they're pretty popular amongst people because I see a huge parts in stores dedicated to these treats. They smell nice. Maybe that's why people love them. Water is boiling, so it's time to pour in our jello dust. First 2, and then 2 more. Now we have to mix well so all of the powder dissolves. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna add some eucalyptus extra. We're making eucalyptus candy drops after all. Just a few drops, you don't want to overdo it because this is potent. Our color here is very grass green, but I want to have it more like an emerald, so I'm gonna add a few drops of blue food coloring. Yep, this is perfect. I think all of my powder has dissolved, so the next step is to add another 1 liter of cold water this time. And our candy has doubled in size.
Yay!
Finally, we can pour the mixture into our mold. I'm making a candy this big. Let's pour it in. Perfect! I splashed some of it out the bowl, but that's okay. I'm gonna pop this into the fridge overnight, and tomorrow we'll see what happens. Here we have it, guys, the biggest jello I've ever seen in my life. And now we have to put it out of this mold. I'm stressed.
Out of all the steps in making and baking this giant dessert, taking them out of the mold is the most nerve-wracking part.
My concern is that because this thing is so big, it will be just too heavy and it will just kind of fall apart when I put it on the plate. Hopefully not, but I'm scared. At the same time, this is so jiggly and fun. But my nerves are killing all the fun right now, so I think we just have to do it and get over with. I'm gonna put the plate on and flip it around. Please work. 3, 2, 1. Oh no, that wasn't a nice sound. Guys, I'm scared to leave this up. I think it will just fall everywhere.
Why do I have such a bad feeling about this one?
The moment of truth, I'm just gonna do it. I cannot lift it up. Come on. Come on. We did something. It could be worse. I was thinking this will be more like this shape, like more tall. But because of the weight, I guess it has just kind of sinked down. That's okay. For the last touch, I'm gonna sprinkle it with some castor sugar. Oh yeah, this kind of looks like my candy that I wanted to make. Just a little layer of sugar like that, and I guess it's time to test it out. Oh, that's heavy. And very unstable. Like, look at how jiggly this is. This was almost a disaster. Okay, I'm going. Eucalyptus gummy that you probably can't even see, and his giant brother, which, well, you can definitely notice. I think we could fit 8,000 of these little guys in here. Maybe 10,000. Maybe I'm exaggerating. But 1,000, definitely. This was upsizing at its finest. However, I must admit, I'm skeptical about the taste, because this is a gummy. Yep, and a very good one. This is a jello, which is kind of different. Maybe we can get close in taste because the texture, probably not. Okay, no more guessing, let's test it out. I'm gonna take a big spoonful of this. I love this color, very nice green, but it is
a little bit more emerald than this one. This is a bit more bluish.
Oh well, time to test it out. Well, that really wasn't that bad, but as I imagined, the texture is not like the gummy one. And also these jello desserts are not really my cup of tea. They're super slimy and a little bit... Remember when I told you I never buy these desserts? Well, that's why. I love the looks. It seems fun, jiggly and cool. But the taste? Who wins between these two? It's with heavy heart that I announced that small eucalyptus drops are winners here. While my jelly monster is pretty average. It gets a 5. If you make these giant desserts, make sure to share them with your friends. I definitely will, except that Oreo, cause you remember. See you soon, guys. Mwah.